In addition to that, they have to be subjected to all manner of harassment. That is unacceptable. The same can be said for Nakatini. And without the person being whisked away, God knows what would have happened to that individual. Please allow them to do their work. And the call to our men and women in uniform that are manning the polling stations, please arrest anybody that is seen harassing poll staff. You will have yourselves to blame. If the process at a particular polling station is not in conformity with what is laid down, the Commission will proceed to invalidate that poll. Please, allow the Commission to do its work professionally. How secure is the information? This again, we've reiterated. You don't even need us to start assuring you of how secure information is. The poll time around was made in such a way that it is as transparent as possible. The vote starts and ends at the polling station. If you don't know the results at the polling station, really, then there's a serious problem. We did provide guidance. This is why all polling stations now, the presiding officer will count, announce, provide you with a 1020 document, stick the results on the door, so that you're able to know. And this is the information that goes to the totaling center. At the totaling center, all agents, political party agents, or whoever is there, sign agreeing with what is coming from the polling station. What is simply coming to the national results centers, these are already verified results from yourselves at the totaling center, which you have signed off. So please allow us to do the work professionally. The issue of discrediting the Commission and so on, I mean, this is a narrative that has always been there. For us as a Commission is to religiously follow what the law provides for, and we will do that. And we'll do our work in line with the law and the mandate, as well as corresponding regulations, and will not falter on that mandate. And we just call on all citizens and indeed the general public to be patient and wait for the results as they come through. The rest, I think, were mere comments, and we take note of them. Thank you.
We'll take the last two questions. We have to prepare and prepare.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair and members of the Commission. I'm Secretary General of PF from Honorable Davis Miller. There's one issue that we want to raise as a party regarding polling agents. By law, each political party is supposed to have a representative at a polling station. You will recall, Honorable Chair, that you had organized a meeting with all the stakeholders. Here, we raised the issue of the polling agents, and I said, how secure are they? Because in 2016, we had the first in the polling stations. And as we are speaking, the polling agents, our polling agents, in Southern Province, Western and Northwestern Province, you are very much aware. We brought this matter to your attention on the same day of voting. They were chased in the polling station, and some were abducted. And you are very much aware that our political chairman was still in the polling station. And Honorable Chair, we are talking about the legitimacy of the election. In those three, we don't have access to G20 forms because our people were not in the polling station. We need a clear position as a commission Because for us to know what is happening at the polling station, we need to have a polling agent, we need to have access to G20 forms, but as of now, we don't have access to G20. We need a guidance.
Hello. My name is Linda John Abuela from Ghana TV. I apologize, but I'll have to take you back, Mr. Shindano, back to the discussion around the process with the different stakeholders that are here from the different political parties before the results are announced by the commissioners of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. What exactly happens, or what is the agreed process between the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the observers and the political parties once the results arrive here at the National Results Center? Are you, as the Electoral Commission of Zambia, going to be meeting with these political parties and observers to look at the results once they arrive here? Or what exactly was agreed upon yesterday? Because that is the impression that we got once the stakeholders and the political parties came back from the meeting that you held.
Thank you. Let me get the last question over there. And kindly just hold your thoughts, those of you that still have issues that have to be dealt with, or come back at a later time after we announce the next set of results. So, my lady, you can proceed with your question.
Thank you very much. My name is Betty Kakoma and I'm coming from Christian Nation FM Radio. I think my question is bordered on what transpired yesterday with regards to announcing the results. I remember there was a point where we had a problem, especially with the voters that voted. There's the issue of emotional stress out there. Today already people are not moving around because they're scared to get to know what's happening around because the results are being delayed with regards to announcing. So I'd like to find out from the Commission if what transpired yesterday will not actually transpire as it was, where we were unable to know at what time, at what point the results were going to be announced, and how, obviously, you're keeping the promise of announcing the total results within the 72 hours. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will allow the electoral officer to respond to that last set of questions.
I think the last question, in a way, Madam, you've answered yourself. We did say that we will be announcing, and we've already announced the time. The next time for announcing of results is at 12. You have held me by 30 minutes, so I've taken away 30 minutes already because I need to have clear those that we have, that we'll try and see. So the next, we have indicated that in the next hour, we'll be back here. And we still keep maintaining the promise that within the 72 hours, provided our stakeholders also cooperate, because if you continue harassing the poster, those results won't get here on time. Allow them to do a professional job. And if you keep holding them, closing the polling stations, containing them, how do you expect them to do their work? Please just give them space, and as we have advised, if you are arrested, you'll have yourselves to be blamed. But let's allow our people to do the job professionally. What was agreed with the stakeholders, Mr. Soko? There was no agreement. We provided guidance on the process. I was looking behind, because this is something that was also running. I don't know if it is. The result management framework. It's very, very clear. This was shared with all the stakeholders on how the process will be done. Like we earlier indicated, it's only the Commission that has a constitutional mandate to announce results. The process does facilitate for sharing with the stakeholders for them to be able to validate the results from their polling agents. Like we have said, this time around, the process was made in such a way that at the polling station, if there are any issues, they are resolved. Because the stakeholders are supposed to be at the polling station. And it's closed. The vote starts and ends at the polling station. Thereafter, the results are then taken to the totaling center. There again, the stakeholders are supposed to validate what has come from the polling stations based on their respective Gen 20s at each polling station. And that form is signed off by them, the stakeholder and the other stakeholders like monitors who are present. That's the Gen 21, and that will come to the Commission. already agreed upon. The Commission basically what it will do is now verify those results with the record of proceedings and the respective documents. And if everything is tallied, administratively proceed to announce the result, but also share what we are going to announce with the stakeholders for purposes of them going there to their polling agents to see if what is being announced corresponds to what they had on the ground. And it's not for stakeholders to approve what the Commission should be able to announce. Let me make that very clear. Because this process has already happened at the polling station. The vote has been closed by the presiding officer at the polling station. That's the final result. It cannot be altered. At the totaling center, again, there is that confirmation of that vote which was closed at the totaling center by the stakeholders. So you cannot come here and start saying, no, what was announced at the polling station is not correct. So please take note what the process is. The Commission will share before announcing to the public for the stakeholders to validate the results with their polling agents. So it was merely guidance on the different processes. On the complaint, I'd like to acknowledge the Patriotic Front that we did receive the complaint. We are in receipt of that complaint. We will advise once the Commission considers the matters that you raised. And of course, there is also another complaint under the police, which we are working very closely and will be able to advise you at the shortest possible time. But we call on you, please remain calm as the Commission looks into these matters. I believe those were questions.
Okay, so we've come to the end of this session. We'll see you between 12 and 12:30 as the Commission comes to announce the next set of questions, and we'll be able to interact with you a little later, not in that session, but in another briefing. Good morning.
Video show.